backpacking through Europe. That was always a bucket list item of mine. Always wanted to venture out and see the world, especially Europe. The UK, Germany, France, Italy, Spain, Greece, little Romania, the Scandinavian countries. But for some reason, always got the tug to go to Ireland. Specifically, around St. Patrick's Day. I mean, yeah, it'd still be cold and still technically be winter, but I wanted to experience the fun and the pageantry and the culture firsthand on the holiday. So I booked a flight, flew into Dublin. Man, oh man, oh man. I mean, it was a bit of a culture shock because the Irish are so hospitable and so friendly and so warm. Felt right at home. People greeting me in the street saying, "How are ya? Good day. Top of the morning to ya." On St. Patrick's night, I went to one of the local pubs, Corked Barrel. Had a pint of Guinness. And I was talking to some of the locals. A man named John McDougal. Big, burly, boisterous guy, but good-tempered, good-mannered, good-spirited. Kept on babbling on and on and on and on and on and on about the leprechaun he encountered a few years ago. Now listen here, boys. There's a frightful thing. A very frightful thing at O'Neill's castle. A leprechaun. Thousands of years old. It is said that he has tons and tons of gold stashed in that castle. But all those who ventured in never came back out. Johnny, you're so full of cotton swallow, boy. Come on. A leprechaun? Random man blurted out. I'm telling you the truth, boys. A leprechaun. Greedy little son of a gun, he is. John then began to raise his pint. I swear by the Lord, I saw him myself, 5 years ago. Nodded his head and turned toward me. I saw him 5 years ago, about 3.5 feet tall. Dry, nasty brown skin, yellowish brown skin, long brown hair, devious green, yellow eyes, and of course the hat, the suit, the boots. The little shit damn near killed me. Thought you said that all those who ventured to that castle never returned. I did. But then I didn't actually go in. I was just on the outskirts walking back home from the pub and decided to take a little detour. Went up to the castle. It was a beautiful night, nice little full moon, and I took it upon myself to maybe investigate, but he made sure that I didn't come any closer, I'll tell you that much. Right before I got to the main gate, he sprang up. Seemingly out of the ground, and these vines came out of nowhere and grasped my ankles and pulled me down to the ground. I can't remember. How that happened, it was so quick, and it was so... Then he jumped up onto my chest, brandished a huge knife and pointed it to my throat, and just stared at me. Those evil yellow eyes just stared at me. John began to shake a little. "Easy, John," said a man named Gregory. "I tell you, I'd never seen such evil before in my life. The thing was just despicable, rotten, mean, nasty. Then he got close to me, almost nose to nose, eye to eye, and he whispered, 'Stay away from me gold.' He bounced off my chest. The vines released my ankles and he vanished. I got up and looked around, but no one there. I reported it to the police, but they thought I was crazy. Been a bit of a laughingstock ever since, but I still stand by what I experienced and what I say. And I'm telling you the truth, lads. That Leprechaun is no good." "And where is O'Neill Castle, may I ask?" "Don't go there, lad. There's nothing good that will come if you do go over there." "What do you mean?" "Well, hell, isn't my story enough? Jesus. Hey, must be out of your damn mind. Good Lord. Good Lord. Look, I'm gonna find out either way, one way or another. I have a natural curious mind, and I like to investigate matters, see things out. I like all this, paranormal type of thing, ghosts, spirits, ghouls, cryptids, unknown, spiritual stuff. I'm into that type of thing. I like investigating those type of things. I've always liked that. "Lad, you got a screw loose." I stared at him. "If you wish, it's on the south side of town. Just on the other side of Blarney Road. Take you a bit to walk from here, but do as you wish. But I warn ye, stay away from that castle." Everybody went back to their drinks. Got a shot of Jameson and another 2 pints of Guinness. Met a nice lass named Daniela and her best friend Erica. I thought to myself long and hard. Yeah, I'm going over there. I paid my tab and made my way. Took a taxi. And there I was, on the other side of Blarney Road. There was O'Neill Castle. The place was deserted. It was an ancient ruin, over 1,000 years old. thought to myself. Then I started toward the castle. I I walked. It was a nice little night, especially for a late winter's night. Slight breeze. Temperatures in the 50s and not too cold. It had actually been a sunny day today. There was no rain, which was surprising, considering it rained all the first 2 days I was there. The old monolith pierced up into the night sky. The foreboding ruins inviting me inside. There was the entrance right in front of me. Cold, black pit. Black threshold. Just waiting for me to come through to the other side. Whipped myself on it. Turn on the light. A couple pillars through the opening. I made my way through the threshold and into the castle proper. Columns, walls, towering walls. I looked around. The light from my flashlight from my cell phone illuminating the dark abyss. There were paintings, old decrepit paintings of. I fell through the floor. I fell and I fell. And I landed on something. Something weird, something. To my surprise, I still have my phone in my hand. I used my flashlight and they were coins. Gold coins scattered across the floor, on the ground. The dungeon, the bottom room, I don't know what it was, but the place was immense. The room was immense. I could see an orange light. 50 feet from me? It was a candlelight. It was a candle lit. Several of them. Then the dark door and lighting up a hallway. Old decrepit stone. And there was nothing but these gold coins scattered across the ground, across the floor. There had to be millions of them. Maybe billions, I don't know. It was mind-boggling. I couldn't believe what I was looking at. I just I hear something in the distance. A laugh. Nasty, evil laugh, a cackle. I didn't know what it was. Was it a... This way, they called out. I pressed record on my phone. I made my way through the hall. It's a gigantic hall, and the coins just rattled beneath my footsteps. made my way through the candlelit hall into the corridor from where the voice came. I go into a room, and it's this magnificent room. Everything is solid gold. Throne, more coins on the ground, the crusted diamond jewels, and everything was golden. Large torches were lit in this room. It was very well lit up. Like what you see, lad. Cackling voice repeated. I turned and looked around. I looked everywhere. I looked out through the hall into the corridor and back into the hall and around the room, and it was right next to me, but there was no one there. Lad, do you like what you see? I didn't answer. I kept looking around, but there was no one there. There was... Lad, did you not hear me? I asked you a question. I said, do you like what you see? I nodded. Nodded multiple times. As do I. What do you plan to do? Do you plan to take it? Admire it? Possess some of it, perhaps? Melt it down? Spend it on whatever you want to spend it on? Is that it? What is your intention, my lad? I kept looking around. The disembodied voice kept questioning. There's more down here than whatever you can ever possibly conjure up in terms of wealth. Wealth and riches far beyond your wildest dreams. I possess hundreds of rooms as this. Hundreds. Ye cannot fathom what else I also possess. What's that? I asked. Suddenly, two scantily clad maidens appeared before me. Dressed in minimal green and black silk. Almost like latex, but dressed in boots and minimal black bikinis, latex bikini, black and green latex bikinis. The clothing was so ancient, yet it was so modern. It was so odd. Let me, lasses, escort you to my place of wonder, lad. Both took me by my arms and led me back down the hallway. We fell through the floor and landed in deeper down into another room. This one was even bigger. Gold-covered statues, thrones, coins, diamond encrusted jewels, treasure cases, gold covered treasure cases. Everything was gold. Aye, lad. It's in the trillions. Come see. Two maidens led me into the room. Get comfortable. The blonde-haired girl whispered to me. Here you are, the redhead retorted. They sat me down on the throne. Suddenly vines bursted through the floor and tied me to the throne. Gold encrusted. How? I couldn't talk. I couldn't speak. My mouth was open, but I couldn't move it. It was wide open. I couldn't move it or close it. I couldn't move. Then this small, brown creature, man thing in a dark green suit with a green hat. He had long brown hair, brown yellow skin, and terrifying yellow eyes. Ah, me lasses. He kissed both maidens on the hand. They both laughed and smiled deviously. Now, me lad, you're gonna open up. He smiled evilly. I thought to myself, open up to what? What was he doing? What's he saying? Ah, there's trillions and trillions down here, me lad. Watch this. Some of the gold coins began to levitate off the floor. No more. Coming towards me in their mass. You said you wanted some gold, didn't you? Well, now you get to have it. I tried squirming around, but I couldn't do anything. I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't talk, couldn't move, I was completely invalid. My mouth remained open, but open wide, lad. Enjoy the taste of the rainbow. Massive gold coins came closer and closer to my mouth. Happy St. Patrick's Day, the creature whispered. The massive gold coins flooded into my mouth. It kept flooding and flooding, going and going and going and going and going. Down my throat into my stomach. I flashed and I thrashed and flailed and battled until I couldn't. My stomach kept on expanding and expanding and expanding. I couldn't. It kept on going and going and going and going and going. I blacked out. And I woke at the bar. I was next to old John McDougal. I looked around. I checked my phone. I checked the clock at the bar, and it was almost 1 o'clock in the evening. In the morning, technically. The majority of people had gone home, but there were still some stragglers in the pub. I placed my hands over my eyes and my face. That must have been one hell of a nightmare, lad. He laughed. I looked over at him. How long was I He shrugged his shoulders. About a half an hour, 45 minutes, if that. You were so plastered. Good Lord, you Americans. I looked around. Well, those two nice lasses you met, they took off about 15 minutes before you passed out. I don't know if you still got jet lag or if you didn't get enough sleep last night, but you just came over here, sat next to me, and talked a little, and then you dozed off. Huh. I was clueless. I didn't know what to say. He's right, lad. You just dozed off. Take this as a precautionary warning. Don't ever think of stepping into my castle or coming near my castle. I'm doing this as a positive service. As a positive gesture for ye, lad. Stay away. And I mean, stay away. Turn my head. Did you hear that? Hear what? John bellowed. Nothing. I got the sense that I was being watched. Turned to the pub window and there he was. The little leprechaun, the creature. Staring at me with those evil yellow eyes. Stay away from me, Gold, he whispered and vanished. I shook my head. He rubbed my eyes. You alright, lad? Said Johnny McDougal. Yeah, I'm alright. Richard, Dick, get this lad another pint. He needs it. McDougal bellowed. I turned and I nodded with a smile, accepting a gesture from a good friend, and in turn accepting a gesture from a potential enemy.